Hello, I'm Roland Martin. Today on NewsOne Now, Marissa Alexander finally free, but will spend the next 2 years under home detention. Congressman Steve Scalise spoke to a white supremacist group in 2002. Now he is going to meet with top civil rights leaders. Wade Henderson will join us to talk about that. Also, Eddie Murphy is here to talk about his new song and stand-up. And the comedians are here to bring the funny for Wild 'N Out Wednesday. It's time for us to bring the funk right here on NewsOne Now on TV One. Folks, Marissa Alexander, the Jacksonville woman who 5 years ago was facing 60 years in prison, she woke up this morning at home after the state of Florida's request to have her stay in jail for 2 more years was denied by a judge on yesterday. She had been in prison, as I said, since 2010 for firing what she described as a warning shot at her estranged husband during an argument. Yesterday, she was sentenced to 3 years with credit for time served. Now she was out and will be on house arrest for the next 2 years. In fact, about an hour and a half ago, her father, he took her to the court in order to get fitted for her ankle monitor. Now, her case sparked debate on the stand your ground defense. Prosecutors argued the shot hit the wall and not the ceiling, meaning that it was intended for her husband. But she contends, as well as her supporters, that it was indeed a warning shot. And in fact, the law was changed in Florida that if someone does indeed fire a warning shot, they cannot be prosecuted. Not only does this deal with stand your ground law, it also dealt with the 10-20 rule, because it was a mandatory minimum that if a gun was discharged in a particular crime, it mandated a minimum sentence. Today on the Tom Joyner Morning Show, I talked with Congresswoman Corinne Brown about this particular case. She's been very involved with it. Here's what she had to say.
This is an example of what is wrong with the system. When you walk into that ballot box and you just vote for the congresswoman and the president or the mayor and walk out, and you don't vote for that state attorney, that judge, I mean, so it's very important that as we look at taking the step to protest, that we are registered, that we vote, we can sit on the jury duty. In less than 12 minutes, the jury came back and found her guilty.
Now, Marissa, she released a statement. Here's what she had to say that was sent out to the public. She said, quote, all right, folks, please pull the graphic up, please, with her statement. Okay. All right. Here's the video, Marissa.
Today, after the sentence imposed by Judge Daniel, my family and I will be able to move forward with our lives. Although the journey has been long and there have been many difficult moments, I could not have arrived here and where I am today without the thoughts and many prayers of so many people who have voiced their support and encouragement.
I want to go to Cleo Manago, behavioral health expert, also Wade Henderson, of the Leadership Conference on Civil and Human Rights. This case has gotten lots of attention because her estranged husband, they said he was beating her. He had also beat several other women. But it also showed the problems in our criminal justice system where she fired the shot, no one was injured, no one was killed, and Congresswoman Corinne Brown said some folks who actually had killed other people would have gotten less time than she would have gotten if she was convicted under the initial allegations.
Marissa Alexander's conviction was a perversion of justice. Absolutely. And it really is worth commending Corinne Brown, the Congresswoman from the area, as well as Marissa Alexander's family and supporters for pushing to have her exonerated. As you pointed out, her conviction really represented a kind of distortion in which the stand your ground law was misapplied for purposes of achieving her conviction. And so the court's decision yesterday to release her on time served and to allow her to remain free is, we think, a very positive development.
Cleo, she can only leave home when it comes to going to her job, going to church, doctor's appointment, also picking up her kids from school. Can't have any communication with her estranged husband or his 2 kids as well. If she violates that, she could face 5 years in prison.
That's unfortunate, but I have to talk about the positive first, as we all just spoke to. It's good that she's out of jail. One of the reasons why this case, as we remember, got so much attention is because it happened not far from the Zimmerman when he murdered that young child and didn't get no time. And under the same so-called law relevance. And so that's good news that she's no longer in prison. I'm sure she's glad to be home, period, as opposed to being locked up, and can actually be at home and be with her family. So, you know, like you said, it's a perverted attempt at justice, but at least she's out.
Yes.
I do want to quickly ask you this way. Congresswoman made a great point, which I've been stressing on this show for the longest. We vote for president, U.S. senator, governor, but you got to vote for DAs. You got to vote for judges, because it was the prosecutor, Angela Corey, who was the one who kept pushing for more jail time for Marissa Alexander.
Look, Corinne Brown is absolutely right. These local elections are far more important than people realize, because they make decisions about key decision makers, school board, prosecutors, and others who actually determine the day-to-day existence in many of our communities. So she's absolutely right. And I think the lesson behind the Marissa Alexander conviction is that we as a community have to participate in the civic process. We have to vote, and we have to make our voices heard.
Well, you and I, as you know, we were speaking in the black room, as Roland calls it back there. I love that. About being in Ferguson when I was there, and why this predominantly black city, why they were not voting. And as I mentioned to you back there, we have to start talking about and bringing out of the abstract why we believe the myth that we're powerless, and why we have internalized over generations that we really can't do anything about a rut that we're in. When, as you just said, and Roland pushes it all the time, about the power that we actually have in our hands, that we need a wake-up call to remember or to realize, because there's a lot of power in our hands that we don't use.
Speaking of power, Congressman Steve Scalise, he is in the House Republican leadership. It was revealed that he had spoken to white supremacist group more than 10 years ago. Folks have backed him up, even Congressman Cedric Richmond of the Congressional Black Caucus saying, look, he's not a racist. There's been calls for him to resign. He has not resigned, but he is going to meet with you, Wade, as well as Mark Morial.
Yes.
When will that take place, and what do you plan on addressing with?
Well, we think the meeting will take place sometime next month. Mark Morial, the former mayor of New Orleans and the president of the National Urban League, and I co-authored a letter to Steve Scalise pointing out that we had difficulty in believing his explanation for speaking to a David Duke-related group. But more importantly, we want to talk about moving forward, how we use this incident both to educate the public at large about the problems associated with the sort of dog whistle, if you will, the wink and nod politics of race in our country. We think there is a likelihood that Mr. Scalise was trying to appeal to David Duke's white base as a way of boosting his own political accomplishments. Our view, however, is that as the number 3 power in the House of Representatives majority, Steve Scalise has an obligation to work with the American people, or to work on behalf of the American people. So we want him to look at issues like voting rights and the restoration of the Voting Rights Act. We want him to take a look at some of the criminal justice reforms that both Democrats and Republicans are joining forces to help pursue. And we want him to take a look at education and jobs, infrastructure, things that really affect the day-to-day lives of Americans generally and our community in particular.
Cleo, what do you make of him being the number 3 person in the House conference, and again speaking to this kind of group, which has been called for many, anybody knows, paying any attention to politics, especially Louisiana politics, for the last 2 decades, David Duke, former Klan leader?
How do I feel about it? What kind of question? You know how I feel about it, Roland. I think it's disgusting. And also, well, I appreciate that Scalise is honest, though.
Yeah.
Because there's some white supremacists who still have on verbal cloaks. They don't really come out with it, so at least we know what we're dealing with. You know what you're dealing with this time, right?
Well, let's just say this, though. In fairness to Steve Scalise, he has indicated, look, I'm not a racist. I don't have a racist bone in my body. Mark Morial, the former mayor of New Orleans, knows him from his previous experience. But the issue of whether he's a racist or not, it's a false issue. No one ever accused him of that. What we talked about is his responsibility to use his current position to advance the interests of all Americans, and that's what we'd like to discuss.
All right, we'll surely appreciate that. Let us know how that meeting goes. We'll be covering that as well. And also, I know you'll be following the testimony today of Loretta Lynch as she testifies on Capitol Hill as a nominee for Attorney General.
This is such an important nomination. We want to commend President Obama for putting it forward. Loretta Lynch is the U.S. Attorney from Brooklyn. She served under 2 presidents, President Clinton and now President Obama, an outstanding lawyer, and the perfect choice to replace Eric Holder, who has been the most distinguished Attorney General in American history. In my view, she should be confirmed easily. But you know, members of the committee, sometimes Republicans, who want to use her nomination as a way of advancing criticism of President Obama, and we want to turn that back.
Hold tight 1 second, folks. When we come back, the Fox show Empire focuses on a family, focuses on rap music, but it also confronts the issue of homosexuality in the black community. We're going to have that conversation when we come back. Folks, it is 10 after the hour. NewsOne Now, TV One.
This is breakfast?
Uh-huh. Toast.
Toast, schmoes.
Hey, just watching my calories.
How about a Jimmy Dean Delight sandwich? And that's under 300 calories. That is definitely toast.
Jimmy Dean Delights. Shine on.
In communities across America, people are looking for the one thing that could make all the difference in the world: a chance. It's how we do things. We believe everyone, customers, associates, neighbors, deserves a place to grow. It's why we hire employees from all walks who have something to give and want a chance. So every day, we work to do everything better, because every day matters when you're trying to live better.
In the daytime, girl, I want to be with you all of the time.
Play with a smooth and creamy taste your whole family loves. It is so good all of the time.
At just $6.99, Red Robin's Tavern Double Burger is an investment that pays dividend after dividend in bottomless fries. 24 burgers, a million reasons.
Red Robin. Yum.
There is no perfect time to tell a man that he's not getting any ass.
You can't give up sex. Girl, you couldn't even give up lube.
Don't miss a special sneak peek at a brand new series, Born Again Virgin, following the Image Awards, Friday, February 6th at 11 on TV One.
Don't forget to chime in to the NewsOne Now discussion. Hit us up on Twitter at NewsOne, also at Roland S. Martin. You can also visit us on our Facebook page and listen to us 24/7 on the web at newsone.com. Stay tuned, because we have more topics you care about and more folks you want to see. As always, information is power right here on NewsOne Now.
Shopping for the family used to cause a lot of stress between me and my budget. But thanks to Fingerhut, we have found our happy place.
Life is definitely sweeter.
At Fingerhut.com, we got approved to shop with low monthly payments over 150,000 items from brands like Samsung, Dyson, DeWalt, and with great family stuff like this Samsung TV.
And even our yoga mats.
All you got to do is click on over to Fingerhut.com and get the credit you deserve to get all kinds of great stuff for the family. Ow.
When you're not feeling fresh down there, nothing is perfect. Feel like yourself again with our Monistat Complete Care Stay Fresh Gel. It's shown to help eliminate feminine odor, not just mask it.
It's on Stars. Exclusive original series. Thousands of movies. Up to 15 Stars and Encore channels. Anytime, anywhere, with DirecTV everywhere. It's on Stars. Are you? Call or click today for a special offer. Stars, the best entertainment value on DirecTV.
Nailed it. You're right, that was really easy. I know, I told you so. On Progressive.com, you can compare our Progressive Direct rates with our competitors' rates, so shopping is easy. You don't sound like Flo. Yeah, I do.
Who are you talking to?
What?
What's on your hand?
My wedding ring. Symbol of our love and understanding.
Comparing rates for you. Now that's Progressive.
Nailed it.
Folks, every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, a lot of folks tune in to a show called Empire on Fox, starring Terrence Howard and Taraji Henson. Since it aired, it is about, of course, a family, a rap empire. What's interesting about this show is not only the back and forth and the drama between the music execs and drugs and sex and all those different things, but also there's a central part of the show that deals with the issue of one of their sons being a young gay man. Here's a clip of the show.
Look, Ma, this last time I'm gonna have this talk with you. Your sexuality, that's a choice, huh? You can choose to sleep with women if you want. I'm saying this to help you, because I know eventually you're gonna release another album. And there's people out in this country that don't appreciate people like you.
I get it. Because the sissy can't sell records to black community, I get it.
Or the white kids that make up 75% of our sales. And you really need to stop calling yourself that.
Well, that's what I am, Doug.
Lee Daniels, of course, is the creator of the show. He is also an out gay man. Joining me right now to talk about this is Cleo Manago, who sticks around with us, and also Aruba Tommy Bennett, TV personality, and also Skyping in from Los Angeles, is Kelly Carter, senior editor of BuzzFeed. She is an entertainment guru. So, Kelly, glad to have you on the show. I want to start with Cleo and Tommy. Very interesting with this show in that, one, it's raw. They use gay epithets. They go right to the heart of it. They have this really gut-wrenching scene where the Terrence Howard character literally throws his son, who's dressed up as a woman, into a trash can in real life that actually happened to Lee Daniels. The show is not afraid to deal with an issue in a way unlike any other show on television.
Well, the reason that I stutter a little bit, not because I'm not clear on my perspective, but it's just that I think that show does not give enough context regarding what's happening in the black community, which is, as I've mentioned to you before on previous shows, Roland, we're the last community in the country in the nation to talk about this issue in direct ways. And after all this silence, now we have Lee Daniels' life to be the first example on national primetime TV to talk about this issue, with the young man being thrown in the trash. And I'm concerned about the show in many ways in terms of the representation of black people. For example, all the people that do the help are dark skinned, and all the people that are luxurious and everything are light skinned. That's really true. What's her name? Cedar Bay? What do you pronounce her name? The one from Prisha?
Yeah. And Gabby Cedar Bay.
And there's somebody named Bunky, and another character named Portia, who is the wife's or the ex-wife's assistant. There's a message there that bothers me. And then on top of that, you have this underdeveloped homosexual story in terms of attitudes in black communities about homosexuality. And I'm concerned because it's not contextualized enough to be helpful.
Tommy?
I think it's one of the best shows I've seen in a long time. To address the part of the homosexuality, which we all have gone through, I think it's time to bring gay to the television screen, to the light, and say exactly what it is.
Well, and look, you've had gay characters on other shows. This one, you have a black character, and you have it being actually addressed not only by the mother, but also by the Terrence Howard character. He also has a boyfriend on the show, and they deal with the issue of, look, you shouldn't tell anybody. There was a one particular scene where he was supposed to announce to the world that he was gay, but the daddy said, look, you do that, I'm cutting you off.
And that's real life. It happens. And that's a real life gay person growing up in a household of a homophobic father. In some cases, the father accepts and the mother does not. But in this case, and I just know for a fact it's growing up in my hometown, and with my dad being a civil rights leader, being a bail bondsman, he wanted me to be the same way. And I was like that little kid that was put into the trash can. And that's, I am so happy that this show is on, and I think it's going places.
Kelly, what has been the response? You cover entertainment. How has it been received and dealt with and written about?
This is actually Fox's most successful news show in years. And what I find interesting about it is that it debuted very strongly that first week, where a lot was crammed into that pilot episode with regards to the storyline. The next week it did something completely unprecedented in television. It went up in ratings, shocked the heck out of Fox executives in the best way possible, and it's continued to grow. And I think largely it's growing because we're finally having a conversation on primetime television that we've never seen before, and that is homophobia and LGBT issues within the Black community. It's not going to be all things to all people, but it is a very significant conversation that is being had right now amongst people, driven largely by social media.
Cleo?
Well, what we're seeing, I saw the show for the first time last night. I was dragged into having to see it because it was all your fault, because I wasn't really going to watch this show. But I did see it last night, and what I saw was the trash can scene. I saw the mother call him a queen. Remember that? Referred to a queen. I guess these are the epitaphs that you're referring to. But there's no context. It's just name-calling, abusive treatment, and there's some things that have happened, that do happen in the Black community regarding masculinity, manhood, how Black men have been treated.
Well, I will push back on you on that, because I get it, seeing the one episode. You have had that, where even though the mother calls him that, she also embraces him, loves him, is trying to push him up. She's challenged the father on him shunning the son as well. But her character is just raw, period. But also accepting of the relationship between between him and his boyfriend. So you have had that, and it's sort of been this whole back and forth on the show, and it has been front and center. It's not one of the side stories, it's one of the main stories.
Right, but you're saying that it's front and center, and you said the mother accepts, but the mother is dismissive to him as well, and has said things about the relationship as well, and what's motivating it is business and vengeance against the father.
Okay. Tommy, go ahead.
I think the mother was shocked that he had a white partner. I think that was the only part of the show that I think she accepts who he is, but I think she
loves her son.
She loves her son, and out of his other two brothers, not saying because he is gay and I'm gay, he is the best of the three. In terms of business-wise.
Well, and that's one of the points. He's the most talented,
right?
But he is gay, and that all of a sudden as well, he shouldn't become the leader of the company when the dad leaves.
Right, and if you look through this world, most gays are the best talented.
Well, I want to say real quick before we leave this.
Cleo, then Kelly, then I gotta go.
I hope, Lee Daniels, if you're listening, Lee Daniels, that you contextualize the father's anxiety about his son being a homosexual. There's a whole Black experience behind that. The reaction that never ever gets any attention, never comes to the surface. It's not just quote unquote homophobia. There's more to it.
Kelly?
I would venture to say, I think that all of those things are going to happen. They're trying to slowly roll out the storyline with Terrence Howard and Taraji and their son Jamal. I can't give anything away, but I think that audiences are going to have even more to talk about, and it's going to be a fantastic conversation.
All right, then, we appreciate this here in Cleo. I'll be sure to call Lee Daniels for you and pass that message on to him. All right, I certainly appreciate it. Thanks so much. Coming up, folks, we're going to talk about Sundance Film Festival. A ton of films produced by Black folks getting lots of attention. We'll break it down. Also later in the show, Eddie Murphy will be right here on NewsOne Now talking about his new song and hitting the stage doing more stand-up. This is NewsOne Now on TV One.
Hershey's Spreads. Bring the delicious taste of Hershey's chocolate to anything. Everything. With Hershey's Spreads, the possibilities are delicious.
A house full of savings at Macy's Home Sale. Save big on hundreds of items for your home. Save on our entire stock of comforters and pillows, now 50 to 60% off. Samsonite, Delsey, Travel Pro, and Ricardo luggage, 50% off plus a $50 gift card. Now take 40% off all Charter Club Damask bedding. Belgique 11-piece cookware sets, your choice, only $129.99. Plus get an extra 15% off when you use your Macy's card or Wow Savings Pass. Macy's Home Sale.
When you fall in love, everything is brighter, bolder, more intense.
New Revlon Ultra HD Lipstick. Gel technology delivers instant true color clarity with a smooth, weightless feel.
You're addicted to love. Revlon, love is on.
Before earning enough cash back from Bank of America to help pay for her kids' ice time. Before earning 1% cash back everywhere, every time. And 2% back at the grocery store. Even before she got 3% back on gas. all with no hoops to jump through. Katie used her Bank AmeriCard Cash Rewards credit card to stay warm and toasty during the heat of competition. That's the comfort of rewarding connections. Apply online or at a Bank of America near you.
Here are the keys, man. It's all mine.
Parenthood isn't gonna change me. I'll still see the guys every weekend and rock out in the basement. Please.
Hey, where are you?
I'm still king of this castle.
Lots of good features. You're gonna love the back seat pocket.
It's not like I'm gonna get a minivan.
Life can surprise you. So can an Allstate agent. Now they can save you $3,000 on a new car with the Allstate car buying service. The good hands are doing more than ever before.
Your heart is precious. One of many ways to support its health is new True Heart from One A Day. It's the only heart health supplement with ingredients to both help lower bad cholesterol and support healthy blood pressure, and also includes CoQ10. Try new True Heart.
Well, I drove Grandpa to speed dating this week, so I should probably get the last roll.
Yeah, but I practiced my bassoon.
And I listened.
I can do this.
Everyone deserves ooey gooey Pillsbury cinnamon rolls. Make the weekend pop.
Guess what goes really well with eggs? Pillsbury Grand's biscuits make breakfast even better. Grand's biscuits make breakfast pop.
Something special
There is no perfect time to tell a man that he's not getting any ass.
is coming to TV One.
You can't give up sex. Girl, you couldn't even give up lube.
Something spicy,
I can handle any test that God throws at me.
dicey,
Wonka wonka wonka.
something we almost shouldn't talk about.
You two are not going to talk about the hoo-ha.
Don't miss a special sneak peek at a brand new series, Born Again Virgin, following the Image Awards, Friday, February 6th at 11 on TV One. Tonight, TV One's award-winning hit series Unsung returns. The music unforgettable.
I just wanted to be set free.
The talent undeniable.
Either I'm too much in love or I'm too much in pain.
The stories untold.
He was the freest black man that I ever met.
Unsung. All new episodes. Tonight at 8 on TV One. LA's R&B ladies are back with 2 new divas and 2 times the shade.
Clearly, you're not as talented as you think you are. You gonna die.
R&B Divas LA. All new season premieres Wednesday, February 11th at 10 on TV One.
Of course, you know, on this show, we've focused on a number of films starring, produced by, and directed African Americans. And of course, we saw last year significant, actually last 2 years, significant movies. The Butler, Fruitvale Station, 12 Years a Slave, Selma, and it goes on and on and on. Well, this year at the Sundance Film Festival, African Americans are again hot. The yearly event has quickly become a mecca for black filmmakers. Critically acclaimed projects like Precious and Fruitvale Stations got their start there. That was only the beginning. Joining us right now from Sundance is Julie Walker with The Root. Of course, she has been covering Sundance this year. Julie, welcome to the show. All right, so we're having some technical issues right now, so we'll try to get Julie, get her Skype fixed, to get her on the phone. And so here's a particular film that is debuting at Sundance that deals with the shooting death of Jordan Davis, the young man who was gunned down at a gas station, supposedly for having music too loud.
Fire Rescue Carter, the address of your emergency.
I'm at the Gate gas station. Shots fired in the parking lot.
2 black males stepped out.
Came from the red SUV.
I don't know if they were trying to stash something.
The person driving the vehicle was the one shooting out of the vehicle.
It was like pop, 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 pop. Second, they heard pop, 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 pop.
That movie there is called Sirens, and again, it deals with we deal with the shooting death of Jordan Davis. Of course, his killer eventually was convicted and sentenced to prison. Here is the next film. It is called Dope.
For most geeks, a bad day might be being the butt of jokes in class. But when you live in the bottoms, a bad day might be...
All right, folks, those are a couple of films taking place at Sundance. And the third film that's also getting lots of attention is called Black Panther. Here's a clip.
One response to police brutality in 1966 was the founding of the Black Panther Party for self-defense.
We use the Black Panther as our symbol because of the nature of a panther. Panther doesn't strike anyone, but when he's assailed upon, that he'll back up first. But if the aggressor continues, then he'll strike out.
All right, let's go to Julie, who's on the phone right now. So, Julie, why all of a sudden are you seeing, again, the evolution of all of these films dealing with the Black experience coming to the fore at Sundance?
Well, it's nothing new, Roland. We've seen this year after year at Sundance. I mean, the Institute says that they are looking for diverse films that tell stories, and that's what these films do. And the last 5 years I've been covering Sundance, I've noticed a wealth of films that speak to the Black experience, and these are just some of them, as I've highlighted in my story for the Roots.
Success leads to more success, and certainly the fact that films like The Butler did well at the box office, Django Unchained did well as well, and 12 Years a Slave, that certainly inspires folks to make the next crop of films.
It absolutely does. I mean, I can't speak for each filmmaker, but they make films because this is what they love and this is what they believe in. I spoke with Stanley Nelson, who did the film about the Black Panthers, and he said it was a subject that really interested him. We're coming up on the 50th anniversary of the start of the group, and he wanted to be able to tell the story of how they came to power, how they influenced an entire generation, and how they were taken down by the FBI. So, you know, he made a film for people so that they can understand the Black Panthers, and Stanley Nelson has been making films that speak to the Black experience for his whole career as a documentarian. We have another film that came out, Dope. It is the latest film from the filmmaker that brought us Brown Sugar and The Wood. In fact, ASAP Rocky looks at it as the wood for this generation. That film actually just sold. Reports are that it went as high as $7 million, and there was a bidding war for it with, you know, at least 6 Hollywood studios interested in owning that property.
All right.
So we have a lot going on here. There's a lot of interest in these films.
All right. Well, look, Julie, sorry for the technical difficulties. We certainly appreciate it. Folks can go to theroot.com to follow your coverage of Sundance Film Festival and learn more about these particular films. We certainly appreciate it. Thank you so very much. All right, folks, when we come back, we're going to talk with Eddie Murphy. That's right. He has a new song out, and Eddie says it's time for me to hit the stand-up stage. We'll have the conversation when we come back. Folks, this is NewsOne Now on TV1.
In communities across America, people are looking for the one thing that could make all the difference in the world: a chance. It's how we do things. We believe everyone, customers, associates, neighbors, deserves a place to grow. It's why we hire employees from all walks who have something to give and want a chance. So every day, we work to do everything better, because every day matters when you're trying to live better.
Don't you love the volume you get at the salon? Now with Suave Professionals, you can have salon volume every day. Introducing Luxe Style Infusion Blow Dry Spray. It works with the heat of your blow dryer to give you 24 hours of volume.
It's like I just stepped out of a salon.
Discover the entire Luxe Style Infusion styling range. Suave Professionals works as well as salon brands. Suave.
My Bliss? Care my lips can count on. Color I can love. My Bliss Dex? Lip Vibrance. Hydration that really works. Color and shimmer that really lasts. Total care. With a touch of flair. Discover Bliss. Discover Bliss Dex.
I am never getting married. Never. Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring.
Thank you. We're never having kids.
I love it here.
We are never moving to the suburbs. We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life,
State Farm is there.
There are lots of reasons to finish college. At DeVry University, we can help by maximizing qualifying transfer credits so you can graduate sooner. All you need is a good reason to finish now. Get started at devry.edu.
Have you or a loved one been diagnosed with cancer after fibroid surgery? The FDA reported that power morcellators used during laparoscopic hysterectomy or uterine fibroid surgery may spread cancerous cells in women who already have an undetected form of cancer. The agency estimates that 1 in 350 women undergoing fibroid surgery have an unsuspected form of uterine cancer. Because physicians are unable to test uterine fibroids for cancer prior to surgery, the FDA has warned against using power morcellators for uterine fibroid procedures. If you or a loved one were diagnosed with cancer after laparoscopic hysterectomy or uterine fibroid removal surgery, then you may be entitled to significant compensation. However, there are time deadlines to file your claim. Call Parliament Law Firm now at 800-800-DRUG. We will make sure that you have the best representation possible to help get you what you or your loved one deserves. Call Parliament Law Firm today at 800-800-DRUG for more information and a free case review. That's 800-800-DRUG.
Gardening is something I love to do. Managing my diabetes is something I'm learning to do. I'm eating better, getting medical advice, and finding that my Rely on Prime mirror and test strips make managing my diabetes a whole lot easier and a lot less expensive. I pay just 18 cents a strip and get accurate test results in seconds. Rely On is helping me live my best for less by giving me the freedom to do the things I love. Rely on Prime, just $9 for 50 test strips, only at Walmart.
Hershey's Spreads. Bring the delicious taste of Hershey's chocolate to anything. Everything. With Hershey's Spreads, the possibilities are delicious.
All right, summer rights. Move over. Here comes Eddie Murphy. More than 20 years after Party All the Time, Eddie Murphy is back on the music scene with his latest reggae track, Oh Ya Ya. He joins us. They tell me, first of all, they had Ya Ya. They say it's Ja Ja.
Oh, Ja Ja.
Yes, right, guys. Well, Eddie Murphy's on the phone right now. Doc, how you doing?
What's going on, man?
All right, first of all,
because it's Ja Ja.
It's Ja Ja.
Ja Ja is God, and Yaya is this dude that live out on Long Island.
Well, first, it's the first time I've ever chatted with you, so I'm certainly glad to do so.
Yeah,
after all these years. So, why did you decide to say, all right, it's time for me to get my singing back on?
Hey, you know what? I never ever stopped putting music out, making music. I stopped putting music out in the 80s.
Okay.
Because there was, in the 80s for some reason, more than any decade, it was a bunch of actors that was trying to sing and put records out, and it looked crazy. You know how it looks crazy when actors sing that, what is this kind of, I didn't want to be part of that. It was like, yo, it's all these actors trying to sing, and I had a band before I did stand-up comedy. I've always done music. I've always played. I played guitar and piano, and I write and I produce, and I was coming at music that way, and I didn't want to get thrown in a barrel with everybody else. And because I'm blessed that I'm able to keep the lights on doing something else, I was able to, because I got my comedy and making movies, I was able to do that. And my music, I was like, all right, I'm not putting no records out. I'll just keep recording and keep producing and keep writing, and just for myself. So for the last 25 years, I've just been tracking, but not putting stuff out. But I never, ever left it alone. I just stopped letting y'all hear it.
Well, yeah, and what's interesting, man, I remember all the criticism, and I was going, this as a party jam, what's the deal with y'all getting all upset? And you're right, it was this whole attitude of, well, no, he can only do one thing, but now...
But not me, actors, period. And it's not like it's unfounded. It really does look weird when an actor is trying to sing. It usually looks like this is just wrong, and I'm not with this. I totally understand that.
Right.
So, and that's why I stopped putting records out. I was like, well, you know, I'm just going to do my thing privately. But anything that you do, you know, with passion, focus, repetition, and patience is going to get a demonstration. You know, you can't do that for a long period of time and not have something happen. So I'm doing my music. I never left it alone. I never stopped playing. I never stopped. So, you know, now I'm like, hey, you know what? Hey, here, y'all could listen to this because this ain't whack.
Well, now I got to tell you this here. I've talked to a ton of comedians, and one of the things comedians are jealous of, they're jealous of other comedians who can also sing, and they incorporate that into their act. I mean, I had some guys who said, man, I hate the fact Jamie Foxx can sing because he can do jokes and sing, and it's a perfect combination. So what about that, the ability to be able to bring that element to the table?
Well, that's my fantasy, is if I ever got on stage and as a live performer again, I would like to be able to do everything that I do and have that be my show, as opposed to just being another one of the comics. You know, back when I stopped doing comedy, it was 100 comics, and now it's 100,000 comics. So I'm like, if I was to jump back into the game, you know, what's different from me from all these other people, you know?
Eddie, stop now. Come on now. It might be 100,000 comics, but there's only one Eddie Murphy. I mean,
yeah. I'm not, you know, I'm not saying, you know, I'm saying it's still just somebody on stage telling jokes. I'm like, if I got on the stage again, I want to take what I'm doing to the next level and be everything that I'm on stage. That's interesting.
Do you miss the stage? Do you want to hit the stage again? Will you hit the stage again?
I think when you come from the stage and you come from a show like Saturday Night Live, I think you always have that feeling. It's nothing like connecting with a live audience. That feeling is the best that there is. Now, if I go to somebody else's show, if it's music or comedy, if I see somebody turning it out, you get that little feeling where you're like, wow, that's the best when you turn it out live.
What are you?
My fantasy is to be able to go and do everything that I do live, but not just go tell jokes. Do everything, like shut it down with a band for a half hour, then the hour of jokes, then leave.
What do you? I'd love to get your thoughts. What do you make of Kevin Hart and what he's doing, and Chris Rock? I mean, so you have these folks who looked at you and they say, you know what? We're producing and we're directing, we're starring in, and we're doing other vehicles. And then social media has also totally changed the game.
Oh yeah, social media changed everything. But yeah, I love Chris Rock and I love Kevin Hart. I love them both. I think they're funny. It's a lot of funny dudes around. It's a lot of people around that's funny. Those two dudes are special, though.
Oh, absolutely. So, but I'm also curious, you know, we see all these Saturday Night Live specials and people coming back, and we haven't seen you come back. Is it, do you operate as if, you know what, I've done it, no need to go back in time, or do you say, you know what, let somebody else get some shine?
It's just timing. It just never worked out where the timing was right for me to do it. You know, it's part of you know, my life. Saturday Night Live. Actually, they're having a 40th anniversary. I think in 2 weeks I'm going to that.
Okay.
And that'll be the first time I've been back since I left.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
So you got this single out. So Oh Ja Ja. So do you plan on releasing a full album, or are you going to roll out single by single?
Yeah, you know, if one of these songs, you know, caught on and heated up and people liked it, you know, then you have a reason to put an album out. You know, and until one of these tracks catch on, and I told you I've been tracking for 25 years. I can just sit back here and just keep chucking them out till y'all like one.
So Eddie Murphy, so Eddie, you're like Prince. You got a vault of like 700 songs just sitting there ready to roll out.
Like Prince. Hey, you know, I heard about that vault. I'm wondering if that vault is real, Prince's vault.
That vault
I've been hearing about that for years.
That vault is real.
Is it?
Because he went back to Warner Brothers and they gave him ownership of all of his masters, and they brought the thing back together. So yeah.
So he's gonna let us hear some of that stuff in the vault? Because I've been a Prince fan since I was a teenager.
Oh yeah.
And I've been hearing about the vault since I was a teenager.
Well, they released that one album called The Vault, and they had that bad song, It's About That Walk. And he had said when they released it, he will never perform any of those songs. So now that he's back with them, and what he said was, I did them, but he said, but he felt they were not up to his standard. That's why he never released them. That's when you know you got some talent, when you drop 700 songs and you say, it's not up to my standard.
Hey, but hey, yo, ain't nobody in the world that could touch Prince, yo.
I agree.
He's in the world by himself.
I agree, and we were talking offline about dancing, and I went to a party at his house. He told Sinbad that brother left some scuff marks on the dance floor. So
I told you I heard you like to dance, man.
Oh, I do.
You scuffed up Prince's floor.
Yes, indeed. Yes, but Eddie, this is what he told me. He walked up to me. He said, "You can come back to my house anytime because you like to party."
Yeah.
So absolutely. Well, Eddie Murphy, I surely appreciate it, man. Thanks a bunch. And maybe I'll hook up with you. We can party soon.
Yeah, brother. Good talking to you.
Likewise, we can jam. Folks, the song is Oh Jaja. It's available on iTunes right now?
Yeah. You can get it on iTunes.
All right, folks. Go to iTunes, Amazon as well. Eddie Murphy, thanks a bunch, man. I look forward to it. Take care.
Good talking to you, brother.
All right. Folks, next up, might as well follow our comedians following Eddie Murphy. We've got Nikki Moore, Cletus Cassidy, and Nikita Blakeney. They're ready to bring the funk. You can't wait to hear what they got to say about Eddie Murphy. 15 before top of the hour. NewsOne Now on TV One.
There is no perfect time to tell a man that he's not getting any ass.
You can't give up sex. Girl, you couldn't even give up Lulu.
Don't miss a special sneak peek at a brand new series, Born Again Virgin, following the Image Awards, Friday, February 6th at 11 on TV One.
What I want is for everyone to be talking about empire.
I can't make you love your mother, but you will respect her.
I'm gonna ask you one more time. What do you want?
You and I always made a real good team.
I make you better.
Thank you, baby.
Baby.
Okay, baby mama.
All new Empire with limited commercial interruption tonight at 9/8 Central on Fox.
Like a lot of people, I go to work every day. I have a steady job, but I'm still on a budget. So when I needed good car insurance at a low cost, I got a quote from the General. Besides their low payments, you're also able to pick your payment due date.
Right now at the General, you can get affordable car insurance with low payments, great discounts, and a choice of payment due date. Get an anonymous online quote now. For a great low rate you can get online, go to the General and save some time.
We love
chocolatey,
creamy with a little something extra.
Deliciousness.
Cookies
or almonds.
Yumminess. Hershey's is mine.
Yours, our chocolate.
This is breakfast?
Toast.
Toast, schmoes.
Hey, just watching my calories.
How about a Jimmy Dean Delight sandwich? And that's under 300 calories. That is definitely toast.
Jimmy Dean Delights. Shine on.
Black Hollywood weighs in on Selma's Oscar snub. I'm Jasmine Simpkins with TV One's The Urban Daily What's Hot Spotlight. Just days after the Academy announced this year's Oscar nominees and snubbed Selma star David Oyelowo and director Ava DuVernay, we caught up with some of this year's NAACP Image Award nominees to find out what they thought.
Sometimes, you know, they're glaring omissions, but you know, it's all someone's personal opinion.
There should have been a place for them at the table.
But while the Oscars may have missed the mark, the NAACP nominated a host of diverse films and entertainers, and you can catch all the action when the award show airs live Friday, February 6th on TV One. For more award season news, visit theurbandaily.com.
Red Hot deals are here at Rent-A-Center. Right now, get this Red Hot Whirlpool washer and dryer, just $17.99 per week. Or a new 50-inch Toshiba LED Smart TV, just $19.99 per week. During the Red Hot sale at Rent-A-Center.
Heartburn.
Did someone say burn? Try Alka-Seltzer Relief Chews. They work just as fast and are proven to taste better than Tums Smoothies assorted fruit.
Amazing.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Chews. Enjoy the relief.
At Zulily.com, every day, you'll find a hand-picked selection of top brands and boutique styles at prices you won't believe. Plus, we typically offer 100 new sales events each day, so there's always something exciting to discover, all up to 70% off. And our mobile apps make it easy to shop on the go. With Zulily's exciting new styles, you'll find exactly what you're looking for. But hurry, our selection changes every day. For the latest fashion that fits your style and your budget, go to Zulily.com today.
At Nat Geo Wild, we wake up ready for work. We have to keep up with Dr. Pole. This farm vet has 19,000 patients, and he never misses an appointment.
We see 3 animals every 15 minutes.
For him, the word break only applies to bones. Dr. Pole wouldn't have it any other way. Neither would we. So after you punch out, punch in with Wild. The incredible Dr. Pole. New episodes Saturdays at 9 on Nat Geo Wild, Channel 283.
All right, folks, birthday shout-out time. Singer Anthony Hamilton turns 44 years old today. Rapper Rakim, hey, 47, 47.
I thought he was 47 10 years ago.
He's very big. See, right there.
Not that R, but the other R.
Right there, right there. And gospel singer Marvin Sapp turns 48.
All right.
And Pastor Creflo Dollar Jr., I am not convinced that that's actually his last name.
Well, let me tell you something.
He turns 53 years old today.
Can't be surprised when you get money to somebody named Creflo Dollar.
See, right there. Right there. All right, folks, it's also Hump Day. And so we got our comedians in the house.
Yeah.
For Wild Out Wednesday, let's introduce Nikki Moore. Nikki, how you doing?
Hey, Roland.
Oh, Lord.
Happy New Year, Roland. I missed you so much.
Thank you very much. Can I introduce other comedians, please? Thank you very much. All right. Cletus Cassidy.
What's going on, Roland?
All good. And Nikita Blakely, your first time here, so you're a newbie.
I am. Thank you very much. Ashley Blakeney Williams, I got to include that. My husband light skin, he get nervous when I mention it.
Oh, well, when they ain't put that in the prompter. So.
She showed it, and she sure didn't tell him.
So I would talk about some other stuff, but I just finished chatting with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, and you know, that's hard to come after.
It was awesome.
You know, when you're sitting at home and you're saying, ooh, what comedians they got on? Eddie Murphy and then us three. That's who we become. Us
Eddie
three,
Murphy was singing, he's doing John Legend songs.
You don't go from party all the time to ja.
Yes.
Hey, you know, but here's what's interesting about that. Like I said to him, people used to dog him
down.
You know, because of his music. And who actually danced the party all the time? I mean, it was a catchy little tune.
It was.
But what I say is this, Roland. At a certain point, you've made so much money that you just start doing stuff because you want to.
Because you
Eddie Murphy got $100 million off of Pluto Nash. 4 people watch Pluto Nash. He got $100 million. So you know what you do when you got $100 million from Pluto Nash? I'm gonna make an album. If I had $100 million, Roland, I'd just start doing random stuff. You know what I'm gonna do? Water polo. Why? I can't swim, but I got $100 million. Let me drown. The kids be taken care of. That's what you do.
I'm a high heel race, but you gonna wear the shoes.
Oh.
Wait a minute. First of all, we had a Ruba Tom in here earlier. He's an older man that's wearing high heels.
I'm gonna pay you to run in my high heels.
You sure will not. Let's tell you, the 3 of y'all ain't gonna keep talking to me like that. I'm talking about you and them twins that you got here in your shirt.
Total respect.
So Nikita, what about that in terms of Eddie Murphy singing and being able to do that? So you just figure because he said, look, I've been making music, I just haven't released it.
He's been making noise and he hadn't released it. I mean, if you got enough money, you can do whatever you want to do. As long as it's legal, do it. That's what I say.
Now, Eddie Murphy's selfish. He's selfish. He won't let anybody else have anything. He played all 12 clumps. All these black actors out here trying to get jobs. He gonna play every role. Now he gonna try to take over the music industry too. Come on now, what is 2 Chainz gonna do?
Oh Lord, see.
He didn't play all 12 clumps. I was Rasputia. That was me. People don't know that, see. People don't know that because they didn't want to give me the credits.
Well,
but it was
first
me.
off, I mean, no doubt, he is a mega star.
He is.
And of course, it was funny. He was like, well, you know, when I started, there were 1,000 comedians. Now it's about 100,000 comedians. Bruh.
It's still just 1,000.
I think you can still cut through.
It's still just 1,000. You know, and the thing about Eddie, let me tell you this. The thing about Eddie just earned me a lot of money. Because whether Eddie knows it or not, my resume now says also seen with Eddie Murphy. I've now officially worked with Eddie Murphy because he was on the segment right before me.
Right.
I've worked with Eddie Murphy now. That's going on my resume.
Actually, you could put Eddie Murphy open for me.
Because he came on before.
That's hot.
Damn.
Yes.
I see what you did there, Roland.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
I like it, Roland. New year, new thing. You owned it this year, Roland. In 2014, you would have been hood. But in 2015, you taking it to the streets.
Eddie Murphy open for you.
You put that on there now. You be eating puppy food later.
You know what? He gonna have to sue me. And that's even more publicity. You know what, Roland? Thank you. I am working on it now. I'm tired of getting sued by poor people.
Wasn't that some dude who claimed to be Eddie Murphy's son?
Yeah.
And
doing comedy.
Put out press releases, and he was doing comedy and all that nonsense. And then his mama wouldn't really say. Wasn't she like a singer or something?
I mean,
he was the love child of Eddie and Johnny Gill, I think.
It could be some truth to it. You know, it was that thing with
you're ignorant.
the Spice Girl.
You're a line stepper.
This is the second time.
You're a line stomper.
This is the second time I've been on your show and called ignorant, so now it's confirmed.
Yes,
that what Creflo Dollar was saying.
It was confirmed the first time.
Yeah, I was ignorant then, and now.
You were ignorant then.
I've lost some letters.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Hold tight 1 second, folks. So we're going to come back in a second. I'm Roland Martin. This is NewsOne Now with some ignorant people.
In communities across America, people are looking for the one thing that could make all the difference in the world: a chance. It's how we do things. We believe everyone, customers, associates, neighbors, deserves a place to grow. It's why we hire employees from all walks who have something to give and want a chance. So every day, we work to do everything better, because every day matters when you're trying to live better.
TV One's award-winning hit series Unsung returns with Peaches and Herb, Angie Stone, Rick James, and more. Unsung. All new episodes tonight at 8 on TV One.
"30 years ago, Harry Belafonte's mission to help end hunger in Africa was made into the song We Are the World. The song helped the charity USA for Africa spark a movement that would reach far beyond the continent. On January 28, 1985, the genius music team of Michael Jackson, Lionel Richie, Stevie Wonder, and Quincy Jones wrote the song, folks, in just 2 hours.
Nice.
That same night, 45 of the biggest names in music set out to record the miracle tune.
I just wish.
I'd like to just let everybody know that the names down here are for solos. We're going to do the ensembles first, and to get all the stacking and all that carpentry out of the way.
We're saving our lives. It's true, we make a better day, just you and me.
Whichever one feels good to you. Which one feels better or brighter? Brighter is the one everybody's leaning to, right?
Can maybe a change.
No, I think it should be brighter.
I feel like everyone was singing brighter. This is brighter?
No, better, brighter. Yeah, it's going to be brighter now.
A better half of a bite.
It's true we make a brighter day, just you and me, instead of better. Everybody say brighter, because that's what we're saying anyway.
We are the ones who make a brighter day, so let's start giving.
We Are the World has sold more than 20 million copies and raised more than $75 million for USA for Africa. Quincy Jones told USA Today, quote, "A great song lasts for eternity." And he was right. We Are the World is still the biggest charity single of all time. The nonprofit USA for Africa continues to do its part, just recently sending medical supplies to West Africa to help fight the deadly Ebola outbreak. We Are the World is available right now on iTunes or Amazon, all the music services. Log on to usaforafrica.org for more information. You know, that's pretty interesting. Imagine being that choir director. Only Quincy Jones could have directed that kind of group.
Only.
Because you know, you had divas, you had, I mean.
A lot of the people won't singing. Diana Ross didn't sing.
Oh, no.
Diana was just opening her mouth to the words.
In a neck.
She won't sing.
Stevie Wonder's hairline could have directed that choir.
First of all, the saddest, that's what we need. That's what we need to write a charity song for. We need to write a charity song to get Stevie Wonder one friend.
Okay, let me say.
If we can get Stevie one friend.
You said it earlier. Stevie got more money than
Come
Eddie.
on.
Yeah.
But he don't have any friends. Because if he had a friend, somebody would tell Stevie that we're not wearing dashikis anymore.
Cletus, you ain't got a friend.
I don't, but even without friends,
Your friend will told you don't wear that plaid bow tie. So stop it. So stop dogging our icons like Eddie and Stevie.
But you gonna come on here with a cotton swab in your shirt.
Don't
and
hate.
You gonna act like I'm doing something. I'm not hating. There's nothing for me to congratulate. I'm not hating.
Because you didn't even wear a jacket on the show.
First of all, I don't own a jacket.
This is her first time. Her first time on the show. I was hoping
that she would wear a jacket.
You could have been a nice guest.
Nikita knows me.
Properly...
Ain't no need for me to front in front of Nikita.
See,
Nikita.
Nikita. See, this is what I'm saying.
Now, when you get the rest of them jacket sleeves,
this is what I'm
then
saying,
you come back and talk to me.
This is what I'm saying, Nikita. This is what I'm saying. The man is insulting our icons, Eddie and Stevie. That cannot happen on a black network.
The truth is not an insult.
It cannot happen.
Well, then put me on a white network. I'm going next door to CNN. Oh.
I think it's just a lip gloss.
Then maybe somebody else can.
Hold on, I'm not wearing lip gloss.
His mouth is juicy.
It's not
He got a juicy mouth.
So you say his new stage name is Juicy Lips?
Juicy
okay,
mouth.
first of all, that's a rule.
Okay, let me tweet that. Juicy Lips.
You know what?
Hey, Tommy.
Tommy.
Here comes Juicy Lips. Folks, I'm going to see you tomorrow right here on NewsOne Now. Holla at you. Peace.